Hey everyone, so I'm going to do a video on quadratic regression. I want to review regression. The idea of regression is that you're trying to create a prediction curve or line. The regression is designed to predict what could happen within the given data or outside the given data. If you're predicting within the given data, so for example, for the data that I have here, if I'm predicting within, I'm interpolating. If I'm predicting without, like outside the data, you are extrapolating. So my first example here, and my example in this video, is talking about the sales of a new t-shirt style that are shown in the table below. These sales were recorded at a 2-month interval for 1 year, and the values for S of the new t-shirt style are given in thousands of dollars. So these are in thousands of dollars. The first question says, write a regression equation with coefficients rounded to the nearest hundredth. The first thing you want to do is figure out what L1 and L2 is. L1 is usually the X and L2 is usually the Y. So the X is your independent variable and your Y is your dependent variable. Your Y is your dependent, meaning that something has to depend on something else occurring. In this case, your sales would depend on the month. So this is your Y, this is your X, which should make sense because in the summer, you're probably going to be buying more t-shirts. So your Y is the sales, and that depends on the month, the X. So my L1, L2 scenario would be that my list 1 is X and my list 2 is Y. So list 1 is the months and list 2 is the sales. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to your calculator and you're going to press stat, which is right here. You're going to press, once you press stat, you'll see edit on the screen. Press enter. Clear out list 1 and 2. You do that by going to the top with the arrow, pressing clear, and then pressing down. And you'll do that to the next list, and then you'll enter this into L1 and that into L2. So take a moment, enter that in. Once you've entered that in, also, when you're doing this video, you should probably pause and enter the data, and then do the parts of the question that we're doing, and then check with my video. So, like I said, take a moment and enter L1 and L2 into your list. And once you're doing that, then we can go ahead and write a regression equation with your coefficients rounded to the nearest hundredth. Now, the first thing you want to do, though, is look at the scatter plot for your given regression. And when I did this scatter plot, what you would do to do a scatter plot is first off go to y equals and make sure your scatter plot is turned on. You would highlight it and press enter, like it says plot 1 up here. So if you go to y equals, you want that plot 1 to be on. To get your scatter plot, once that's turned on, you're going to press zoom 9. Zoom is here, and you'll choose the option 9. And when you see this, you'll see this kind of shape here. And if you can visualize it, it is an upside down parabola. So this is an example of quadratic regression, because theoretically if I drew a curve through it, it would look like a part of a parabola. So my line or my curve of best fit in this case is going to be a quadratic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to want to fill in y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So ax squared plus bx plus c. You will get that by going to your calculator and pressing stat. Once you get to stat, you'll go over to calc and then choose 5. Stat, calc, choose 5. 5 is quadratic regression. Make sure everything is list 1 and list 2, and you'll press calculate. This question asks you to round to the nearest hundredths, which is 2 decimal places. So when I look at my calculator screen now, I see for the a value negative 0.879. I'm going to round up to negative 0.88 x squared plus. Your b value is 8.569 on the calculator, so I'm going to round that to 8.57 x. And then plus the c value on my calculator, it's just 42.7, so that's that. Okay, then it says, using this regression equation, estimate to the nearest $1,000 the sales for month 11 of this year. X is the month 11, we're looking for Y. So I'm going to plug in 11 in for X. So 11 squared plus 8.57 times 11. Plus 42.7. You're going to type this into your regular calculator screen, like no graph, no nothing, just the regular calculator screen, and it'll end up getting you 30.8 1.49, and they want nearest $1,000, so it's going to be $30,000. Okay. The next question says, in what months would you expect the sales to be 60,000? So, what you're going to do is you are going to set the equation equal to 60 because you're looking for the months. That means you're looking for x. So I'm going to set negative 0.88x squared equal to 60. And we're going to use our calculator to get the values that would allow this to happen. What you're going to do with your calculator is you're going to type this into y1 and that into y2. So the left side goes into y1 and the right side goes into y2. So right now on your calculator, you're going to y equals, and you're going to be plugging in y1 as that 60 and y2 as the equation. You're going to press graph. When you press graph, you will now see an image that looks something like this. So you'll have your y and your x-axis, then you have your line of best fit with the scatter plot in there, so like you'll see like these dots around it. And then you'll also see this line that's going through here. Okay, that line represents 60 and that curve represents the equation. We want to find the intersections here and here, and specifically we're looking for the x coordinate because we know y is 60. So the way that you get your x coordinate is, I put two x's there because I know I get two x's. The way that you get this x coordinate is you're going to go to your calculator and you're going to go to second trace, which is right here. On that, you will see intersect, and you'll choose that. Then the calculator is going to say first curve. You're going to go to that first intersection over here with your blinky dot. And once you get around it, you're going to press enter 1, 2, 3 times. And you should see on the bottom of your screen 2.85656667 and y is 60. Now the question says, in what months does this happen? So the first answer would be in month 2. You're not in month 3 yet. It's in month 2 because it's 2.8. So we're not month 3 yet. We're in month 2. You will do that same thing to get the second intersection. So you're going to go to second trace. So on your calculator over here, you're going to be pressing second trace intersect, which is choice 5. Now you're going to bring that blinky dot all the way to your next intersection, right about here on my screen. And you're going to press enter 1, 2, 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And you'll see the intersection is 6.8820697 and y is 60. That means it happened in month 6. So in month 6 is our answer here. Okay. The next question says, during what month will the maximum sale occur? So again, you're going to look at your graph, and we want to know where the maximum occurred. So I'm going to go to my y equals, clear out that 60 so that I just see the curve, okay, and the dots. I want the maximum. That means I want this value right here. And again, this is another thing you will do with your calculator. We want what month, so we do want x. And what you will do with your calculator is you will go to your calculator and press second, trace again, and you're going to press maximum, which is choice 4. When you do that, your calculator will say left bound on the bottom. So bring your linky dot to the left of the maximum. Your maximum is probably around here on your screen. You're bringing that blinky dot to the left. It doesn't have to be anywhere specific. It just has to be on the left side of the maximum. Once you get there, around here, you press enter. Then your calculator will ask you right bound. So you'll bring your blinky dot over here and you'll press enter. Then it'll say guess, press enter one more time, and it'll bring you to your maximum, which is 4.86939197 with a y value of 63.565028. So that maximum occurs in month 4, okay, which is so in month 4. During what month? Month 4. I hope this video helped you guys with quadratic regression. I'll see you guys soon and study up.